Hello and welcome. This is Deepak Mishra once again. And today in this video, I want to inform you that recently I have taken the OET exam, that is the Occupational English Test exam, so that I could apply for my specialist license in the UK. I have told you guys since long time that a German Facharzt, a German specialist, is not directly accepted in India. But in this way, since with OET and other documentation, I will get my training in Germany recognized in the UK, and then the UK training is recognized in India. So that is a route that I have taken. And because of this, I have to pass the exam, which I successfully did last month. And in this video, we are going to talk about the exam. And I also have the experts in the field to tell you about the exam. For people who would be interested in OET exam, this video will be very useful. We also have a very nice student from who has also recently passed the OET exam, and she'll be working in the UK soon. All right. So having said that, what is the OET exam? I will not delve much into it because my experience with OET is say 1 week or 2 week old. But I will let the expert talk about the exam. Ms. Khaira, welcome first of all to this channel. As I've already told you in the message, the reason I invited you to this channel is that I have a consulting company myself, and we work mostly for doctors and dentists who want to work in Germany. So there is a matter of customer satisfaction, customer care, and everything that a consulting company, a coaching company, teaching company should have. And that I found very impressive in your company. I wrote it was 5 days before my exam. I wrote one message on WhatsApp that I'm a doctor, I want to take the exam, and my exam is in 5 days. Can you help me? And immediately on the same day, the session started. Okay. In one message, there were 4 people, one who was arranging appointments, one teacher for writing practice, one teacher from speaking practice. Even though there's a time gap of 4.5 hours in Germany and India, and I was working full time, so I get free by 6 p.m. or say 5 p.m. In German time. That is already 9:30 in India. Okay, so teachers were so kind enough that they scheduled the appointment so late in the evening. That is also not very usual. That way, I was very impressed. That is why I said that let me share this experience and this information with my viewers also, so that in case they are interested in OET, they know the right address where to go. With this brief reasoning of why I have invited you, let's go on the topic of OET. Tell us about this exam, please.
Many congratulations on passing the exam, Deepak. So OET as a test OET is an acronym that stands for Occupational English Test. This is an English language exam only intended for health professionals. It assesses English for 12 branches of medicine. And doctors and nurses these days, especially after the pandemic, I think there's a worldwide shortage. So doctors and nurses have been taking this test very, very commonly in the last decade or so. So it would assess English through the content of healthcare scenarios in 4 different skills, which would be reading, listening, writing, and speaking. The test is marked on an overall score of 500, and most regulatory boards worldwide want doctors and nurses to score a minimum of 350 in all 4 skills. Nurses have more flexibility. They can combine their scores across 2 sittings. Doctors have to score this in a single administration.
Okay. So I was basically not aware that one cannot combine the test. I was under the impression if I fail the exam, I would combine it the next time. But I mean, good to know that. All right. Okay. So, and Preeti, tell us about your exam. When did you take the exam?
Hello, sir. Thank you for inviting me for sharing my experience here today. I have given my exam in November, and I have cleared it in first attempt only, my OET exam, and it's all thanks to education teachers and all. and they are very cooperative and motivational, especially ma'am Gurleen ma'am. She motivated us a lot, so that it is very important to have a motivation in your life so that you can achieve further. So that motivation I get here because I have given before, I have done IELTS also.
Okay.
So in IELTS, when I am not able to clear it, I was very depressed with this my result. Like I was thinking like I'm not able to do this thing. Then I took this chance to go for OET through my colleague, one of my colleague who suggested me care education, and I think my experience was great in this. Basically, I think it is very important for a person to clear their concept. And in care education, they have cleared all my modules: reading, listening, writing. They have very special skills, skill classes in week, and that has helped me clearing my all doubts, concepts. And when your concepts are clear, I think you will be able to crack it. This is what I believe.
That is true.
This
That
is
is,
how
I
I
totally agree to it. My experience is also quite good. I used to think that I speak pretty well and I write pretty well, only until I got a review on my writing skills. Then I was told that no, where do you use the article the, where you use
yeah, that's
the,
just true.
and I mean, we have learned all these things when we were kids, like in school. But then over the period of time, you become more conversational and you start forgetting the intricacies of grammar and everything. Okay. So you mentioned very important point about IELTS, Preeti.
Yes, sir.
From Ms. Gurleen, I would like to know what is the difference between IELTS and OET? What would you like to share some ideas about that?
Sure. So, health boards and medical councils accept both IELTS academic or OET. Candidates have to take one of the tests. The threshold for IELTS academic would be 7 in each, in reading, listening, writing, and speaking. And primarily, IELTS academic tests, academic English. Now, I think the main difference in both the tests, without saying one is suitable over the other, I think the difference is in the writing and speaking subtests, especially because in IELTS writing, there are two tasks, and the topics would be totally unfamiliar. For instance, as a student, I've taken IELTS when I had to go for my master's 2 decades ago, and I was asked to write an essay on agriculture. Now, as someone who was not well read on that subject, I was struggling to generate ideas, and I think that was unfair to be assessed on a topic which I was not completely familiar with. Similarly, for speaking, one of the tasks is to speak on a topic that would be given by the examiner, and if a candidate is not aware and the same thing happened to me in the speaking exam. I was asked to draw a comparison between urban and rural houses and how they've evolved over the years. And again, it was very challenging for me to come up with ideas at that time. OET, on the other hand, has scenarios which are familiar with healthcare professionals. For instance, both of you having taken OET, you're aware of the format. In the writing exam, you have to write a letter based on stimulus material which is already given to you. So the onus is not on the candidate to generate new ideas. In speaking as well, you already have a prompt, and all you need to do is improvise. There's a role play, but whatever you need to say, even to the extent of providing medical knowledge that would be needed to complete that role play card, that is given on the prompt or the role play card that's given to the students. So I think that is one advantage in the format itself, which makes OET easier to prepare for.
Yes, I agree to that as well. I mean, IELTS, I have never taken the exam myself, but long back when I came to Germany and I was thinking of moving to the UK at that time, and that time IELTS was a preferred exam. Like I think OET was not accepted that time. I'm talking about 2015 or so. And that time I have gone through the pattern of IELTS. In the past, I have taken TOEFL exam and GRE exam as a student that time. So that is, as a student, it's fine because you're fresh, as I said right before that, you're fresh from you have fresh knowledge of grammar and everything. But later on, as being professionals, when as a doctor, for example, we write in points. We don't even write full sentences. Okay, so there's the art of sentence formation, the context and all is all lost in medical college. Okay. I'm sure Preeti would also agree to that, isn't it, Preeti?
Yes, sir. I true. That is true. I
Yeah.
agree with this point.
because we are told in our medical exams also, we were told that, okay, write point form, write 1 2 3 4 5 and then finish. Don't try to form sentences, because and then suddenly in these exams you have to form sentences with the proper grammatic and comma and semicolon, full stop. I even forgot what is the when do you put semicolon, when do you full colon. So
that is my aim. I also struggle with this thing a lot during my exam time.
So these things, that becomes difficult. That way it makes more sense that the candidates are tested on the things that they would require and not on the history and geography. Like, for example, doctors and engineers or doctors and nurses would be tested on medical relevant situations. So that I find is fair, that they are accepting OET and not making life unnecessarily difficult. Okay. Yeah. So, Preeti, what is your plan further? Where are you going? What are you going to do?
Sir, I'm applying for the UK Central London.
Okay.
I actually got the job there.
All right, wonderful. Congratulations.
I cleared an interview. Thank you.
Wonderful.
So I'm preparing for the next exam because we have to give another exam. That is a CBT.
Okay. And what is the full form of CBT?
This is computer-based test, sir.
Okay. And this
so we
OET,
have to clear that
please.
also.
Yes, please. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, sir. So I'm going to say that we have to clear that also. After OET, we have to do CBT.
Okay.
And for a process.
This OET exam, Ms. Gurleen, I would like to know from you, this OET exam is paper-based exam. It's also computer-based, and one can take from home also, right?
That's correct. 3 modes are available. Most preferred is the paper-based exam. I think it's just got to do with the comfort that we find in taking a pen and paper-based exam. But then OET started computer-based delivery of exams 2 years ago. And people can take it from their home as well. Yes.
Yes, I actually took the exam from my home, from the same setup where what you see here. So I took it from my home. Reason was that where I live in Germany, the exam center was very, very far away from here, like in Berlin. And I live in Essen. It's like, I think 7 hours or to something traveling. Okay. So I did not want to go to that far. So what I did is that Netherlands is just near me, like 40 kilometers, 50 kilometers. We have Holland here. So in the website, I said that I want to take the exam in Netherlands. Instead of going to Berlin 7 hours, I could rather go 1 hour to Netherlands and take the exam over there, if that was the case. I took the exam. I took the enrolled for the exam, computer-based test and everything. And then later, just on the day of the exam, I was like curious that if they had some geo-blocking or something, that VPN geo-blocking, and they found out that I'm sitting in Germany, they would like block my exam and I would not be able to take it. So then I took the practice test. The checking of systems and everything that is there, and it functioned very well. So I was like taking the risk that let's sit at home and see if it works out. I mean, since the practice test worked out, I was almost sure that it's going to work out. Now, what happened during the exam is that how this at-home exam is, it's very, very tedious, because the person who is there checks, like he wanted to show my camera in 360 direction, entire room. Wherever some paper was lying, paper has to be put out of the room. The room has to be locked from inside. I have to roll up my sleeves and everything, put up my t-shirt to show that I'm not hiding any chits. He wanted to see under the chair, over the chair, behind the computer. Like 40 minutes was examining the room with the camera in my hand. I was just examining the room all around, and then started the exam. Like the exam went for the 3 hours, and it is like proctored exam. That means my camera was in the side and somebody was watching me all the time. So that is also very inconvenient like feeling that while you're taking and you're thinking, somebody's watching you constantly. So it was, I mean, it saved me from the trouble of traveling so far and booking a hotel and all those things, but in itself was also not very comfortable, the exam. So
thanks for sharing that.
And yes, tell me about your institute, Ms. Gurleen. How long have you been running it? Where is it located?
So I've been running it close to 8 years now. The name of the organization is Kera Education. Currently, we have offline centers in North India, 2 in Punjab, in Amritsar and Mohali, and 1 in New Delhi. We also offer online courses. we were, through the wondrous technology, we were able to get in touch with doctors like you, sitting in a different country, and it's wonderful what I think these Zoom meetings and the technology has done for online teaching. So my organization is officially recognized by the OET Centre Australia, which is why we are listed on the website as well in the preparation section. I also have written books for OET preparation. I've written 3 books on my own for nursing, and I've co-authored 3 official OET textbooks, one for doctors that has been published recently this month by Cambridge University Press. And I think we're continually improving ourselves, which would be not just the academics, but also we're trying to look out for new ways in which we can support students. If someone is in a different time zone, I think we're conscious of that fact. We try to make sure that looking after students, supporting them in every way holistically is interwoven into every aspect of our counseling and teaching, which is what differentiates us from other providers. Sometimes I have people who come to me from other institutions, and one complaint that is common to most students is that once we enrolled, people were not checking up on our progress. We were not being asked if we have concerns about the teaching methods, or whether we were attending the classes. There was no monitoring of their attendance. They were not being advised on when they would be ready to take the exam. So we try and take care of that process. Of course, it's a learning curve. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's been a long time for us as well. Pandemic has changed a lot of things in the way test was delivered, in the way we've prepared our students. But we're continually improving. I think we strive to do that, whether it's the way we teach students and looking out for any concerns that crop up along the way. And one solution that may be suitable for one student may be inappropriate for other. I think it's to each its own, like they say. So we try to speak to each student, and that is why we've got a separate team that looks into student concerns, and we try to find creative solutions for them.
Yes, and I must definitely congratulate on having such a nice team, because having the boss, the leader, sets the tone, and the team has to follow it. So obviously, the leader has to have those qualities, and also it is important to find such people and maintain such people who would work as per your vision and ambitions, because it's not easy to find such committed and dedicated people. So that way, I would like to congratulate you for having such team, and congratulate your team members for being so professional in the work that they're doing. So,
thank you.
Yes, about so for example, if somebody is watching our video right now and thinking about OET, what is the preparation strategy that one should think about or plan? What is the time duration required, first of all, for preparation?
It's hard to generalize that, because it depends on what level of English they're starting their preparation from. We've had students like you who already came with a decent level of language already. So all we needed to do was familiarize you with the test format and strategy, and then give you feedback on what areas to improve. On an average, I would say 5 weeks is a good time frame for somebody who has a good language level. Of course, we've had students who've needed longer than that, and that's because they've needed help with their language ability.
Okay. But I mean, people who have studied, for example, in vernacular schools, who don't speak English on a regular basis, these people definitely have a disadvantage when taking to the exam. But can they aspire to pass the exam, or is it totally out of the reach? Or how would you say?
Oh, most definitely, yes. In the last 3 years alone, I've had 3 students who were from Hindi medium schools, and they managed to pass their OET. It took them 9 to 12 weeks to be as ready as they could be. It took them more than one attempt, I'll be honest. but then that's also given us an insight into how we should be training people who come in with different backgrounds. So to be fair, I would say for someone who's coming in from Hindi medium or a vernacular medium, like you put it, I would say they should at least keep in mind that it would take them about 9 to 10 weeks before they decide to make an attempt at the test.
Yes, because the exams are expensive. The OET exam, it costs something around $500, $600 or something. So it is expensive exam in that sense. All right.
About 587 Australian dollars. Yeah, sorry.
I think, yeah, that is true. It is costly. That is why, sometimes people think that we should do IELTS because it is costly. But
Okay, the IELTS is cheaper than that, or how is the
yeah,
IELTS?
it is.
Okay.
It is cheaper than this.
I have no idea.
So that is
50% the price. I think ours is
Yeah.
14 Indian rupees, and OET would be approximately 35,000 in Indian currency.
Okay. And
Yeah.
but then IELTS is also difficult to pass, right, in comparison to OET. So if you have to
Yes.
take the exam 2 times, then it is the same mathematics then. Yeah. Wonderful. All right. Any tips and suggestions that you would give to someone who wants to prepare for OET now?
One, I would say that English has to be introduced into your life somehow. Something that I share with students as well. We are living in an age of Netflix, and I think that could be used to our advantage. I've personally adapted some lessons on Grey's Anatomy, scenarios that were shown in Grey's Anatomy, The Good Doctor. So, and even YouTube has wonderful channels. There's one which is by the University of Nottingham, which has demonstrative videos on clinical skills. It's loosely based on the Calgary Cambridge Guide, which is something that OET speaking also assesses. Clinical skills are assessed in OET speaking. So I think that would be a good point to start and improve your speaking and listening skills, to just understand what kind of medical English or clinical English would be required. Two, I think with teachers, we can guide them how to maybe not, if they cannot spend long hours, then how to maybe study in chunks. Like study, we could give them mini lessons, sort of something which is more digestible rather than overwhelming them with knowledge. There are so many apps, even for OET. Now we have an OET prep app that is easily accessible on Android and iPhones, which would just keep the students in touch. I think constancy is more important than the number of hours somebody puts in. So I think a culture of English has to be created. That is the beginning point. And of course, when one picks up the momentum, then it's good to have test practice to build up test stamina, and then understand from somebody who's certified by OET to get an idea of what needs to be improved, because OET is not testing a range of English. They're trying to see how clear one can communicate, and as long as it doesn't compromise patient care, nobody wants to see complex vocabulary or idioms in your language. So a certified teacher can help the student in saving time. Students end up preparing for the exam in wrong ways, which could be laborious and time consuming. So I would advise going to a teacher who can help you identify in what direction the effort has to be put and how to go about it.
Yes, exactly. So this I find very useful. I mean, because OET is a very specific exam. Here, one does not need to have an extensive knowledge of English, like you have in GRE or the other exams, where they ask for 5,000 words vocabulary and all those difficult things. So that way, I find OETs is quite manageable, and a proper coaching can definitely shorten the duration of preparation, and help in getting like better scores and better marks. Because having said that, it's a specific exam. The teaching and the learning also has to be specific. One cannot learn everything. It might happen that one speaks very nice, very fluently, but when it comes to the patient-doctor communication, the speaking part, one forgets about empathy. One forgets about the different things that I was taught about, like putting it in short things, and that reciprocation, that okay, yes, that what you say, there's empathy and counseling and all those things. Those are the tips and tricks that one can learn only from a professional who does that like every time with hundreds of students. So yeah. Do you agree,
True.
Preeti, to that?
Yes, sir, I totally agree with you. We can only learn through some good people who can teach us. Like in Care Education, they're having very good people
Yes.
there who can teach us very well, like signposting and everything we don't know before.
Exactly. I
We
made
are
a
like
list of.
shy.
I was totally surprised because I was. As I told you
Although
that
we
I
don't
don't.
talk to the patient like that in true.
I
Like
did not
you're not
think
going to
that
say this
that
first.
would be so difficult. But then when I started like training, and then I was told that you are making this mistake. There was a huge list of mistakes. I was like, yeah, what is going on? So, but then I took that. I kept a note on my desk every time, and I was having this practice session with your teacher. So I kept in front of me that, okay, am I doing this? Am I doing this? I'm having structure while talking. That was very important. That was my drawback. That I tried to explain so many things, but I was jumping from one idea to another, and without giving the structure to the conversation. And then she told me that the teacher told me that no, I mean, this you have to. Then I made a note, I posted on my desk, and whenever I was talking, I was keeping that in mind, that am I using structure? So that helped me a lot, that ways. All right, so it's very nice talking to you both. Any last thing that you want to tell to our viewers? I mean, definitely I'm going to post, even though for viewers this is not a sponsored video, I'm doing it just because my own experience has been so good, and I thought that everyone should know about this. That's why I'm doing this, and I will post a link to the company's website or the phone numbers or whatever on the description. You can check out if you're interested in OET exam. Anything else that you'd want to tell to our viewers?
Something. Sorry, Preeti. Go ahead.
No, you can.
Preeti,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
you can. No problem.
I
You can
think,
share that.
sure. OET as a test is going to be very beneficial in improving your day-to-day conversational ability as well. I know as a teacher, it has helped me when I was researching the soft skills as we were discussing, whether it's bringing structure to a conversation, or empathizing with somebody or reassuring patients. So I've personally learned a lot, and it's made me a better listener. It's improved my day-to-day communication with people around me. It's strengthened my relationships. And from what students tell me, the nurses who have to take the OSCE exam in the UK, they say that they were able to prepare in a lot easier and more effective manner for OSCE because we covered so many lessons in the OET speaking course. So I think that is one advantage that I can think of. If someone is contemplating whether they should go for IELTS or OET, if you're planning to go overseas, I would say that OET also has this byproduct, which would be that you would become a better communicator.
Great. Preeti, what you wanted to say something?
Yes, sir, I just want to add this thing that it is really important for a person to put your hard work in this, whatever you are doing, and never give up attitude should be there. Because if in case someone will not able to clear it in first attempt, they should not think that they are not qualified for this thing. Because most of the people think like this. Because I have observed myself and seeing all those who were not able to clear it, and they that they are not going to again because it happened. But I think everyone is doing their own time. They are
Yes.
going to shine in their own time. So I believe in this thing. So
I
I should
also asked, yes. Please go ahead.
never give up. Attitude should be there always to move forward.
Definitely.
Otherwise,
I think we both will agree to that. I always say that your failure becomes certain when you stop trying. So then when you stop trying, when you stop taking attempts, then you're certain, then you have failed. Okay. Till you have trying, then your failure is only temporary. So
everyone do, it's not like if someone is not clear, it's not meaning like they are not doing any type of hard work. Because I believe that sometimes there are people I've saw, like from my view, I have seen them practicing more than me and not able to clear it. I feel bad for them sometimes, but I always give them motivation that they should not give up. You will shine in your own time. So you just have some patience. That is very important to have a patience.
Great. Totally agree
In
to
order
that.
that
With
is
this
important.
very wise words from Preeti, I think we can conclude this session, and I'm definitely sure that the students who are already enrolled in your institute, they will also find what Preeti says very useful. That okay, even exams are temporary. It's expensive, I agree, but then one has to give full efforts, definitely. But even if after everything it does not work out, then there's always a next time. I thank you both for being part of this video here, and wish you all good luck.
Same to you, sir. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for letting us be a part of this, Deepak. Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
right.